Today, the Democratic vice presidential candidate, Governor Tim Walz, made his return to Erie and visited a local business to discuss the upcoming election and the economy. Our Philip Ward covered the events, and Philip, that issue is a focus of both parties heading into the last few days. Good evening.
Good evening, Mike. The governor explained how the Democratic ticket's plan will benefit Americans. However, former Georgia Senator David Perdue says the Republican ticket will benefit Americans even more. Election day is nearly here, and the biggest issue for voters, the economy. Both Vice President Harris and former President Trump continue to get their economic plans out there for everyone to hear.
A child tax credit, we're targeting tax cuts. About 100 million Americans will see a tax cut under this. Now, no one making $400,000 or less will pay any more. And then making sure that, as we said, the home ownership piece of it, protecting health care and health care costs, making sure you hear that down payment piece, but also on grocery prices. You were talking to some folks, and I was just talking to a farmer. They're not making any more for their products. Somebody in the middle is making money, and we're seeing corporate profits soar, taking on this price gouging issue. 37 states already have it. If we had a federal hit on that, we also saw economic numbers come out today with inflation has cooled once again. Gas prices are starting to drop, and we're making progress on it. But we understand those household budgets are a top priority. Focusing on that whole group of things, as well as making sure wages are rising, makes a difference.
But former Georgia Senator David Perdue says people are looking at the prices of food, gas, and housing and are going to vote for former President Trump.
Under Kamala Harris's failed regime and President Biden, real income in America is down 4%. I'm talking about people who work. You know, they punch that time clock, they have overtime and so forth. Their real income's down 4%. Under President Trump, it was up 8%, up 8%. That's the difference. This is what happens when you have an administration that doesn't have a background and understands how our economy works. It's the basics. It's cost of living, it's security, it's housing. This is what is going to drive this election. It always does at the end of the day. We talk about all the other niceties, but you just hit the top three right there.
And the latest New York Times Siena poll shows the former president with a lead over the vice president by 6 points with voters when asked, who do you trust to do a better job on the economy? Live at the studio, Philip Ward, Erie News Now.